We're live on Facebook. Good morning to the people on Facebook. We are live on Rumble, YouTube, X. Good morning to those folks. We are live on TikTok. What's going on TikTok? And I believe we are now live on Instagram as well. What's going on? Anybody checking in there, and anybody who's watching this on replay in the back end of our university, of course. Hello to you, whatever time of day it is when you are checking in. What we're going to talk about here today, as you all can see from the title, we're going to talk about clarifying your business model. I'm making this specifically for those of you who are entrepreneurial in mind or entrepreneurial in action, whether you have a business you're running right now, whether you have a side hustle that you want to turn into a business or a side hustle that you want to keep a side hustle. Want to clarify. Oh, I put my mic on. Thanks for letting me know. Instagram. All right. Can y'all hear me now? Forgot to turn the mic on. All right. So now the mic's on. So if you are checking in, as you are checking in, again, shout out to everybody who is watching this. We're live in, I believe, 6 platforms here. And on the back end of the university, people who are watching this on the back end, shout out to all of you folks. What we're going to talk about here today is clarifying your business model. This is specifically for those of you who are entrepreneurial in mind or entrepreneurial in action, or a combination of both, meaning you have a business that you are running right now, whether you're doing it full time, whether you're doing it part time, you're doing it as a side hustle, or whatever it is that you're doing. How to clarify your business model. And I'm going to get clear on what exactly that means. Then I'm going to tell you how to do it. And I'm also going to explain to you why this matters and why it's important for any of you who is doing any type of business. Again, even if you can have a dog walking business, you still need to be clear as to what kind of business you want to be running. So the business model, folks, is more than just what do you do or what do you sell. So a business model doesn't just mean, hey, I'm a dog walker and I walk people's dogs, or I'm a personal trainer and I help people lose weight. That is what you do. And it's not even just who you serve. It's not just, well, I work with pregnant mothers, or I work with people who own pit bulls and German shepherds. It's more than that. It's the general framework of how you serve and what's going to drive your business. So to give you an example, Apple's business model is getting you into their ecosystem and then selling you continually updated versions of their products. So many of you who are Apple product users, you know how it starts. It starts off with, they get you into one product, let's say the phone. Now that you have the phone, now you want to get the earbuds. Now that you have the earbuds, now you want to get the watch. You got the watch, go get the tablet. You got the tablet, go get the computer. And now, over time, or your computer got old, just buy the new version of the computer. Your tablet got old, buy a new tablet. The phone got outdated because there's a new phone out, now buy the new phone. Your AirPods, or go buy the new AirPods, a new watch. And all they do is just sell you updated versions of the exact same product. And Apple makes the majority of their money from the phone, not because they are acquiring a whole bunch of new customers. They do have a good amount of new customers, but mostly it's just selling new versions of the phone to people who already have the phone. Like, how many of you have had like 10 different Apple phones? You use one, that one gets old, you got an iPhone 5, then you got the 6, then you got the 7, 8, and you just keep going. Maybe you skip a year and you go to the next one. I skipped 2 years. I think I need to get a new phone. I got the phone that I have. I got a couple of iPhones because I don't trade mine in. I keep them, I use them as cameras. So I'm recording right now actually on one of my old phones, but I got the 13. I think right now is the 15, and probably the 16 is coming out later this year. So I need to get me a new phone myself. But that's the business model for a company like Apple. The model is getting you on their products and then keep you in their ecosystem. Now, not everybody has the same model. Amazon, for example, wants to get you on Amazon Prime. How many of you are Amazon Prime members? All right. Amazon Prime is what? That's like the recurring model they want to get you on. Now, Amazon can still make money from you by just getting you to buy a product. All right. So you go on Amazon and you buy what's the last thing when you bought on Amazon? Let's say you go buy some batteries off Amazon. Whatever company sold you the batteries, Amazon gets a cut of that. And they have millions of transactions happening maybe every day, hundreds of thousands at least happening every day. They get a cut of every one of those transactions. But they want to get you even deeper into their world. The key to their business model is they want to get you on Amazon Prime. And Amazon Prime started out as, I believe, I was on Prime, I think when they first put it out, it was like $79 a month, probably a little over 10 years ago. Now it's like $140, $150, not a month, a year, excuse me. $79 a year when it first came out. Now it's like $140, $150. Prices damn near double over the last 10 plus years. And the point is they want to get you on Prime, because with Prime, and they entice you with this, well, if you get Prime, then you get access to all the video, then you get Amazon Music, and then you get free 2-day shipping, and soon it's going to be 1-day shipping. Soon as you push the button, is at your doorstep like 30 seconds later. That's what they're eventually trying to get it to. But the whole point of Amazon's business model is to get you on that Prime. That's what they want to do, is get you on that Prime. Apple's business model, they don't really put you in a subscription if you don't want to. I'm not in any Apple subscriptions, I don't think. I have iCloud. I guess that's the only thing, but I pay literally 99 cents a month, and Apple Music. But the big thing is they just want to get you hooked on a product so that even though you have the option of going to getting an Android or a Google phone, does Google still make phones? You aren't going to do it because you like the Apple phone so much that you're just going to buy another one. So when I get my next phone, it's 99%, I'm 99% sure it's going to be an Apple phone. The whole point is what we're talking about here is clarifying your business model so that you know internally how you want to be generating business for yourself. This is not something you have to announce to your customers. You can if you want to, but this is generally about you understanding for yourself how you want to be running your business. So introducing myself, for those who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin. Many know me as Dre all day. I'm a former 9-year professional athlete. I'm author of 35 books. I've done 4 TEDx talks. I created this brand called Work on Your Game. What we do here is we extract the tools to help athletes get to the top of the sports world. We translate them over to the business and professional world to help you perform at your highest level, do so consistently, and produce more results. Our framework is based around mindset, strategy, systems, and accountability in that particular order. And again, this is all about producing results. So what I'm going to talk about here, I'm going to give you 3 tips here when it comes to clarifying your business model. And again, this is for you and your team, if you have a team, to understand what exactly is our purpose and our process of what we're trying to do. And everything else that you do is a means to an end of making that happen. So everything that Apple or Amazon does is a means to an end of making their business model work. So their business model is getting you hooked on the product. So say Apple, everything they do is for the purpose of getting you hooked on the product. Again, they don't have to announce that, but that's what they're doing. Amazon, everything they're doing is trying to get you on Prime. They don't announce that, but that's what they're doing. That's the business model. So business model is what you're doing internally and how it makes everything else work. So point number 1, who you help and how you help them. We do need to start with that. That's not the whole thing, but we do start there. Who do you help and how do you help them? This is a question that you should ask yourself, and you need to answer the question. Who do you help and how do you help them? All right, who are you serving? And understand that who you serve, it should not be everybody. And even though you could serve everybody, it shouldn't be everybody, because not everybody is going to be your ideal person. And it's very hard to get a message out there that resonates with everybody all at the same time. That's a challenge because a lot of people think differently. They have different reasons why they need certain things at certain times and completely different motivations for getting it. So let's say, for example, I was a personal trainer. I'm not a personal trainer, but let's say that I was. Now, who do I help as a personal trainer? Well, I literally couldn't help anybody, because probably everyone out there rather, needs to get in shape. Everyone needs to lose weight. Everyone wants to have nice muscles. Everyone wants to live longer. Everybody wants to be healthy. So technically, I could help everybody. But if I put my message out there and say I'm a personal trainer and I can help anybody, well, who is going to resonate with that message? The answer is literally nobody. Now, it doesn't mean nobody may respond to me, because let's say I put out some nice pictures and I got big muscles and I have a 6-pack and people like my videos on social media. I might get some clients based off of that, but I could probably do better in business if I focus on a specific client so that they know I'm talking specifically to them. Because human beings, we like to know that something is specifically for us. We generally don't like things that are just generic and therefore everybody, because again, it doesn't feel special. And this is a real thing. People like to feel like something is made specifically for them. So when you target a specific person and you let them know, hey, what I'm doing is specifically for people like you, that can be demographically, psychographically, then people are more likely to respond more enthusiastically and are more likely to stick around because it's specifically for them rather than just being generic and for everybody. So if you go to the grocery store, for example, and you buy some generic ketchup or mustard, or you buy it because it's available and you needed it that day, but are you going to stick with that brand and have any loyalty to them? No. Because why does it matter? All right, it doesn't matter, because you're not really connected to what they're doing. But if you have a brand that you really like, so let's say you really like Lay's potato chips, for some reason, you have some connection to them, you're only going to buy Lay's potato chips because something they did targeted you specifically. So you have to choose, who exactly do you want to serve? How do you want to serve them? Who is your ideal person? You want to think about this. Even if you can't answer the question, you want to know, eventually you need to have an answer as to who your ideal person is. So you take a company like, let's just use Apple, because I already brought them up and everybody knows who Apple is. Most of you have their products. Apple's ideal person is a person who just likes to be on the cutting edge of technology stuff. The Apple's ideal person, the person who's standing in line the day the new iPhone comes out so that they can be the first one to buy it. That's the ideal Apple person. Now, 10, 15 years ago, that person was literally sleeping outside the Apple store so that they could be the first one to have the Apple phone. That is Apple's ideal customer. In case any of you didn't know, I don't know if any of you is that type of person who would be sleeping outside the Apple store to get the phone. You might not be. And I'm going to tell you why that matters in a moment. The ideal Apple customer is the person who would sleep outside the store to get the phone. Now, understand something. Many of you have the Apple products. You got a bunch of Apple products, but you would never sleep outside the store just to be the first one to buy it. So understand that just because someone is not your ideal person does not mean they won't still buy from you. They don't have to be your ideal person to still be your customer. I would never sleep outside the Apple store to get the phone. Actually, I like to wait. When a new phone comes out, whenever it comes out, I'm not even trying to get it because I don't want to wait. You tell them you want the phone and you got to wait like 6 weeks to get the phone. I hate doing that. I want to get the phone when I can just go in the store and walk out with the phone. So I'll wait till like 2 months after the phone comes out. Then I go get it because I want it right there on the spot. Now, I'm not Apple's ideal customer because their ideal customer wants it that day. And I'm not standing in line or sleeping outside to get it, but I'm still a customer. You follow what I'm saying here? So you can still someone can still become your customer even if they're not your ideal person because maybe they match 60% or 40% or 30%, but they match enough that they'll still go and get your thing. So your ideal person, I know you can help 17 different types of people and anyone can benefit from what you offer. I know that's right. And listen, what I offer, anybody can benefit from it. What I just told you, anyone can benefit from personal and professional development if I kept it that generic. That is absolutely true. But at the same time, if you could pick one specific type of person and only work with that type of person, who would it be? That's the question you should ask yourself. And again, think about how they think about their experience, think about their background. So do you want to help? College graduates? Do you want to help someone who's transitioning out of corporate and they want to start their own business? Do you want to help an athlete who's trying to get in great shape so they can play pro? Do you want to help single mothers who are trying to make some money on the side? Do you want to help a fired CEO who's trying to get another job as a CEO? Do you want to help somebody who's trying to get a job working in the government? Do you want to help an entrepreneur who's trying to get a business loan? Who do you want to help? You see how there's so many different types of people you can help, even though what you offer could serve anybody. You need to decide who specifically you want to help, because the better you are specifically targeting a certain person, first of all, you can get deeper into what their real needs are, like their specific needs based on their situation and who they are. Then it increases the value of what you do, because you can go deeper into the weeds, so to speak, with a specific market. But when you're general, well, you can't get into the weeds with everybody all at the same time. There's too many different things that too many different people need. So if I said something like, I'm going to serve basketball players. I'm going to serve basketball players. Well, different players need different stuff. So LeBron James is a basketball player. There's certain things he needs. But if you're 13 years old and you're trying to make the 8th grade team, there's certain things you need. So how am I going to make it clear enough that LeBron gets what he wants and that kid gets what he wants? Yeah, I can serve both of them. But the problem is I'm going to be spread so thin, because there's a big gap between LeBron and this 13-year-old kid. And there's a bunch of players in between. How can I give every one of them what they need? I'm going to run out of time. I'm going to run out of talent. I'm going to run out of attention and energy to serve all of those groups all at the same time. So this is why it's better if I focus. I say, okay, I work with NBA players, or I work with kids who are between the ages of 13 and 16 who are trying to make the team, or I work with female players who just want to play for fun, or I work with guys who are between the ages of 30 and 50 and they're not trying to make the NBA, but they just like playing basketball on the weekends and they want to make sure they don't tear their ACLs or get a busted knee playing basketball because they're not in shape like they used to be. Do you see how I could pick specific groups and target them and just work with them? So that's what you want to be doing, getting clear on exactly who you want to help and exactly how you can help them. And again, it makes it easier for the consumer to understand you. That's the point. You want the consumer to understand you. So if you think of, for example, a chiropractor, what do? Chiropractors help people who have any type of back issue, and compare that to a general practitioner doctor who helps you with just generally anything. If you have a back issue, which one are you going to call? You're probably going to call a chiropractor because they specialize in a specific thing. And it's the same thing when it comes to your business. Whatever you specialize in, the right type of person is going to come around to that. And again, it doesn't have to be a specific thing. It could be a way of doing things. It could just be your style of communication. That might be the thing that draws people in. When people come into my world, they say, Dre, I like the fact that you just get straight to the point. You're a straight shooter. You don't bullshit. You don't beat around the bush. That's not a specific thing that I offer. It's just a style. So that could be your thing, but you need to figure out what your thing is. If you don't know, then nobody else knows. And if nobody knows, then it's going to be hard for you to get your message across to other people. Point number 2, today's topic again is how to get clarity when it comes to your business model. Number two, what is the path that you want to take people through? Now, I just told you about this when I started, when I got into my points. I told you that we take the tools to help athletes get to the top of the sports world. We translate them over to the business world to help you perform at your highest level, do so consistently, and produce more results. That is the path that we take people through. Now, I could get much more granular and much more specific with that if I wanted to, but on a high level, that's generally what we do. So I have a training in the back end of Work on Your Game University about what we call the value adder. And the value adder, and I didn't make up the concept of the value adder. Value adder is basically the steps that someone can take once they come into your world. So you think of a company like Apple, for example, and DG GPS, Adri, thank you for the rose. Or was that the rose? Yes, thank you for the gifted badge. So Apple, for example, their value adder is, first of all, they just want you to get, the first thing they want to get you on is the phone. All right, that's their best selling product. They want to get you on the phone. Once they get you on the phone, now they want to get you into some type of recurring product. And what happens with many of us is we take a whole bunch of pictures and a whole bunch of videos on our phones, because that's a high level camera on there. Eventually run out of storage. So now you're paying every month for the storage. And then they want to get you on other products. So, well, get the watch. You got the phone, get the watch. You got the watch, get the AirPods. You got the AirPods, get the computer. You got the computer, get the tablet. And they just get you on all this Apple stuff. And then they get you on the Apple services. And they want to get you on as many Apple things as possible. So their value adder is just moving you up and getting you to buy into more products. And all of these things are connected. So if you have a PC and an iPhone, it's hard for those two products to communicate with each other. But if you have all Apple stuff, I can write something on my phone, copy it, and I can paste it on my computer. And I can paste the same thing on my tablet because they're all communicating with each other. Whereas if I have products that are not all Apple, then they can't do that. So it leads to a level of inconvenience. And since human beings are generally lazy, we don't want inconvenience. We want things to be easy and as seamless as possible. I say, I might as well just get all Apple stuff. I already like the phone. And that's their value add. They just want to get me in and then get me on more stuff. That's the value add. Amazon's value adder is, okay, come in, buy something. Notice how easy it is. Notice how simple it is. Notice how cheap it is. Notice how we have everything available. Anything you want to buy, we got it. And then, all right, I like Amazon so much, I might as well get the yearly Prime membership. I'll pay $150 a year so I can get free 2-day shipping, and I get access to Amazon Music, Amazon Video, and Amazon everything else, whatever else Amazon is offering. That's the value add. So a value add doesn't have to be a whole bunch of steps. A value add could be 2 steps. I just gave you Amazon's value add. It's only 2 steps. Experience what it's like to use Amazon, get on Prime. Their whole value adder is getting you on Amazon Prime. That's their goal. Apple's goal is to just get you connected to the devices and the product so much that you're never going to get any other device. You're not going to stop having an iPhone so you can go get it in Android. You're not going to do that. So what is your value add? And your value add could be several steps. There are other businesses who I know of, they have several steps in their value add where they say, okay, step 1 is this, step 2 is that. Let me see if I can show you or give you an example, because there is a company. So for example, there's this company called Magnetic Marketing. I'm a member of their program, and they literally have their value adder in their newsletter. So I have their physical newsletter right here. And I literally get this in the mail. As you can see, it's a physical book. I get this in the mail every month or twice a month, whatever it is. And they tell you the ladder right here in front of you. So the first one is they want you to get their book. They have a book called Magnetic Marketing. So the first step in the ladder is get the book. Next step is to get the gold membership. I believe the gold membership is $97 a month. The next level is to get on the diamond membership. And diamond membership is $997 a month. And then the next one is the Insider's Circle membership, which I believe is a yearly one and is like maybe 10 or 15,000, maybe even 20,000 for the year. But there's 4 levels to their value ladder. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And they tell you exactly what the ladder is. So they're telling you they want you to climb up the ladder. So some companies will tell you outwardly, this is what we want you to do. Other companies, they do it quietly, covertly, but they're doing the exact same thing. So this company will literally tell you what the ladder is because they want you to aspire. All right, I'm at the gold level, I want to get to diamond. I'm at the diamond level, I want to get to the Insider Circle. So some companies will do that because they want you to know that there's a higher level for you to go to, a higher membership. So any of you ever been to like a conference, for example, and at conferences conferences are actually a good example. Someone has a live event and they have a general admission ticket and then they have a VIP ticket. And you ever been to an event that has that? And anybody who does events, if you have enough people, you should have VIP and general admission because there are people who will pay extra for VIP. So that's more money in your pocket. So why would you not do it? So conferences that have a VIP ticket, what do you get when you get VIP? You get to sit in the front. You get to sit in the front row. Excuse me, is usually marked. Okay, if you're a VIP, you can come past this line, but if you're not VIP, you got to sit in the back. All right, they may get extra food. They get access to a special area where everybody can hang out. They get to go to the VIP dinner. They get to go to the networking lunch. And if you have a general admission ticket, you can see that there's VIP, but you can't go. And what are they doing? They're showing you that there's another level because they want you to feel the FOMO of not being part of that group so that you will spend more money so you can be part of the group. So that's a form of a value adder. So you can do this in a micro, you could also do it in the macro. So if whatever type of business that you have, you want to think about how can I show people that there's a way for them to move up? And again, in Work on Your Game University, I have a whole training where I explain value adders and how you can create yours. And again, value adder can have 10 steps, 4 steps, 2 steps, 1 step, but there needs to be a ladder. Well, it needs to have at least 2 steps to be a ladder. So you want to think what yours is. So think about, for example, a K through 12 school. When you go to school, there's a value adder. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, all the way up through high school and maybe even through college. The educational system in America has a value adder because you know that when you finish first grade, the next step is what? Second grade. You finish high school, the logical next step, if you want to, is to go to college. All right, there's a ladder for you to climb. And people who go to college, for example, they may say, hey, I have a degree. I see this on social media all the time, on X, for example. People talk about having a degree as if that puts them, I see it on all social media, as if it puts them above people who don't have a degree. And the reason that they do that is because they climb the ladder. It's a confirmation bias. All right? I climbed the ladder. So because I did and you didn't, that must mean that what I know is more valuable than what you know. And I have a degree, but I don't look at things that way because I just tend to look at things a little bit differently than most people do. But I understand that there is a value ladder to school. So all of you understand that? First grade, second grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. All right, that's a value ladder. So, and also you got a value adder on a smaller level, like high school is a value adder in and of itself. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. College is a value adder. You can get a 2-year degree, like a community college degree. You can get a 4-year degree, and then you can get advanced degrees. You can get a PhD, what are other ones? A doctorate, a law degree. You know, I don't have those. I don't even know what they are. But yeah, everybody understands this, right? There are higher levels that you can go in any of these. Point number 3, we're talking here today about how to clarify your business model. Number 3, how does anything new fit into your current system? If you're going to make something new and bring something new to the table, how does it fit into what you're currently doing? You should have an answer to this so that you don't confuse yourself trying to do too much. So you don't want to have to recreate your entire business model every time you come up with something new. So for example, if I write a new book, I shouldn't have to recreate my whole business model just to figure out where the book fits in. So there should be somewhere that a book fits into my business model. Maybe that's the entry level. Okay, the entry level is you get a book. Doesn't matter which book, any book. So if I write 10 new books, all of them can be there. Whichever one brings you in. And then there's the next step, the next step, and the next step. So you shouldn't have to recreate your business model every time you come up with a new idea. And as an entrepreneur, you already know you're always coming up with new ideas. I know a bunch of entrepreneurs, and I've never met an entrepreneur who was out of ideas. Entrepreneurs always have ideas. Our biggest problem is not getting sidetracked by all the ideas that we're always coming up with. So once you have a business model, any addition to it should be symbiotic. Symbiotic means it fits into what you're already doing and it supports the current process so that you don't have to tear it all down and start over from the beginning every single time. Now, that doesn't mean that there can't be a time in your career where you decide, you know what, I don't like this model. It's not working. Let me tear this apart and start over with a new approach. Doesn't mean you can't do that, but you shouldn't have to do that just because you came up with a new idea. Okay, so one of the most common challenges I see with entrepreneurs, again, especially entrepreneurs who, let's say, been in the game 5 years or less, is having a whole bunch of ideas that don't serve each other. And then they end up confusing themselves because they're doing too many different things all at the same time, or trying to do too many different things at the same time. So that's why you want to get really clear on what your business is about and its core values so that anything needs to fit into that. Anything that you do fits into it, and it is not just random. You don't want to be doing random stuff as a business owner because, again, your time gets used up, and time is the most valuable thing you have, especially when you run a business, because anything is going to happen, it has to start somehow, some way from you. So with that said, let me recap these points. You got a question or comment on anything I said, put it in the comment section, I'll address it. So we're talking here today about how to clarify your business model. And again, the business model is more than just what you do and who you're trying to help. That's a part of it, but it's not the whole thing. So again, think of Apple, think of Amazon. What are they actually trying to get you into that really serves them and serves you at the same time? Number one, who do you help and how you help them? And you want to really think of a target person, and this could be based around what you bring to the table, how you do things, what you actually give people, what problem you solve, or who you're solving a problem for, but getting specific about what situation they're in. So you could say, I help women, or you could say, I help women who are over the age of 50 who are going through menopause. All right, that's much more specific. When you get more specific, the people who you're talking to will know that you're talking to them, and they're much more likely to listen to you because they know you're being specific for them, and is more valuable for them because you can focus really deeply on their specific issues rather than broadly generalizing and trying to focus on issues for everyone in the group, which can become really hard because there's too many people. Number two, what's the path you want to take people through? You're going to take them from here to here to here to here. What is the path that they go through in order to get their success? This is called the value ladder, and you can have multiple value ladders within your ladder. Think of school. School takes you from kindergarten all the way through college. That's a value ladder. And everybody knows when you finish one grade, the natural next step is to go to the next grade. You want to have that in your business. Number three, how does anything new fit into your current process? So if you write a new book or create a new course or have a new mastermind, how does it fit into whatever you have going on? And anything new you bring into your business should be symbiotic with what you already have going on, meaning it seamlessly fits in, not that you have to recreate your entire business just because you came up with a new idea. You don't want to have to do that too many times because that takes up a whole lot of time and attention, and that's the most valuable thing you have as a professional, period, regardless of what you do for a living. So if you got a question or comment, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'll address them right now, and I will check and not see anything over here. You got a question or comment on IG? Let me check IG first, and then I'll do TikTok. So over on Instagram, somebody said, what's wrong with a clear hustle model? Profit is profit, right? I don't understand what that question means. And let's see, TikTok. I don't think I had a question here. Thank you for the badge. GPS, was it GPS? Make sure I say your name right. No cheat code if you want to get to beast mode. I like that. Let's see. For some reason, when I'm doing TikTok, sometimes they have these things that come up and say, invite this person to join your live as a guest. Why do they show me this for like every other person? I don't know why they do it. Is it because people are requesting to be on the live, or is it TikTok just randomly is suggesting that I invite people to come on my live? I don't know why they do this. Somebody who knows TikTok better than me can tell me. Thank you for people who shared the live. Thank you for the people who liked. And again, appreciate the badges. Let me see. I don't think I had a comment here. Dan said, good morning. Good morning, Dan. Thanks for checking in. Somebody said David Goggins. I look better than David Goggins, but shout out to David Goggins. Ashley, Brianna, good morning to you as well. And somebody said the best career for a fitness major. Is fitness a fitness major? You mean like majoring in fitness in college? Is there a such thing as majoring in fitness? I didn't even know it was a thing. But I think actually the question is backwards. You should be asking, if you want to do X, what's the best thing to major in? Instead of what's the best career, since you already chose a major, why'd you choose the major? That's what I would ask you. What is or was your plan when you chose the major in the first place? Because the major should be serving your later goal. It's not that your goal should be serving the major. And if that's where you're at, I would say you don't have to get into a specific career just because you studied it in school. If studying something in school doesn't really prove that you know anything anyway. It just proves that you passed the classes and hopefully you graduated, but it doesn't mean that you have any real expertise or knowledge. Expertise or knowledge comes from doing things, not learning them. Boss Hog says, be all in on everything you do. I'm good with that. DGGPS, thank you for the badge. DGGPS, I got your name now. And TikTok is giving me all these invites, these invite invitations. Invite this person to join your live as a guest. Why are they saying it? Vihan Mira. Noche buena. Needed to hear that. Good. I don't know what it was I said, but I'm glad you heard it. I made it for you. And Jake says, do what makes you happy. Don't let money control your life. All right, fair enough. And Jake says, sounds like you don't have a degree and you are salty. So see, that's what happens when I say that. Whenever I say that, someone says something like that. Well, you don't have a degree, so you're just talking shit about people who have degrees. I have a degree. Having a degree does not prove you know anything. All right, I got a degree, and when I graduated, I didn't have any proof of any knowledge or skill. A degree just means that you went to school for 2 years or 4 years and you passed the classes and you graduated. That's what it means. Doesn't mean you know anything. You don't know anything until you've actually done it. And you don't really know it until you can teach it. And if you graduate from college and you can't get up in front of the classroom and teach the subject that you just got a degree in, then you don't really know it. I mean, think about it. That just makes sense. But a lot of people who have degrees and that's like the thing at the top of their resume, they tend to take that personally when I say something like that. And I have a degree. Again, that's the usual first comment people have to that is, oh, you just don't have a degree. That's why you're hating. Well, I have a degree. So now what? So the thing at the top of people's resumes tend to be the thing that they are most proud of. I never even mentioned that I went to college. I only mentioned it as I played sports or if it just happens to come up. So someone said, Jake said, I got a degree in teaching. LOL. Well, what subject can you teach? What subject are you an expert at? So that's the thing. You have a degree in teaching. What does that mean? It means you're an expert at teaching things. Well, then let me ask you a question, Jake. Why are you in the comments and not doing your own live stream? If you're an expert at teaching, you should be teaching right now, but you're commenting. So how expert are you? I mean, it's a fair question. That's what I'm asking. Why are you in the comment section not doing your own live streams? And what subject are you an expert at? Again, so you have a degree in teaching. So someone taught you how to teach. Nobody taught me how to teach, but I'm a better teacher than you are. Again, and how do I know this? Look at my resume and what I've taught and who I've taught, and then let's look at your resume. And again, nobody knows you. So again, this is exactly the point that I'm making. It's not the topic of this live, but this is what I'm saying. So anyway, everybody, we're about to wrap this up. Work on Your Game University. You want to work with me directly? That's the place where you go. It's literally called Work on Your Game University. All right, this is better than a college degree. Is going to Work on Your Game University. Again, we focus on performance done consistently to produce results based on the tools that we took from the sports world, translating them over to the business world. And you can see our results. You can see testimonials. You can see feedback. You can see social proof of people we've helped with actual proof of our games. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. The link is in my bio or description or wherever you are listening to this or watching this. And this live, once it comes down off whatever feed is on, it'll be in the back end of Work on Your Game University, which I just told you about. Everybody have a great day. We're out of here. Work on your game. We out.